everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I'm sharing explanations for the 44th hexagram in I-Ching called Coming to Meet. It has this connotation of unexpected encounter. So based on the image of the hexagram, the external trigram is heaven, meaning the sky, and the inner trigram is wind. So wind flowing under the sky. The positive side is any news or information or kind of new rule will spread quickly. The downside is wind has this unsteady and wishy-washy trait. So it means when you encounter someone, this person sometimes give you a feeling of friendliness and sometimes give you a feeling of isolated and being estranged. So it's this unsteady feeling and not super committed or long-lasting relationship. So this whole hexagram is, in a sense, talking about how do you really balance the energy between yin and yang so that you can prevent the potential risk of an imbalanced relationship. Because looking at the entire hexagram, you only have one yin, and then on top of it has 5 solid yang, so it's clearly an imbalanced condition. It's actually corresponding to the transition from summer to fall seasonal period, because spring and summer are both yang energy. Is actually constantly increasing the yang energy, but at the peak of summer, yang reaches extreme. So after that, it's going to transition to the fall and winter when yin's energy is growing and getting stronger. So this is the starting of that transitional period when you can see yang is starting to be replaced with this ever-increasing yin energy. So in that case, what is the biggest risk in this imbalanced yin and yang relationship? It's about preventing this yin's energy from ever increasing so strong that will damage the yang and kind of pushing you away. It's how do you prevent and protect yourself? That's what this hexagram is teaching us. And the answer is all about being inclusive rather than taking a very direct and aggressive head-on style to squash this yin energy, because that will just backfire and cause a lot of harm. Instead, you should take a softer, inclusive approach to tolerate it. And on top of it, using this middle way, the balanced approach to guide this growing yin energy to its good use, so yang can support yin and yin can in turn back up yang, do this mutually beneficial relationship. So that's the teaching of this one. And one more comment about the fun part of I-Ching is every single hexagram has a pairing relationship with each other. So the 43rd hexagram, breakthrough, that one is the flipping image of today's hexagram, right? Because the prior one, it have one yin on top and there are 5 yang lines on the bottom. So they're both actually talking about the same thing, how to treat and prevent risk from this imbalanced yin and yang relationship. It just from 2 different angles. The prior 43rd hexagram is about when this yin is on top, how do you carefully prepare yourself, treat it with politeness, be very well prepared. On the condition you try the softer approach, you cannot convince it, then you use a very direct, sharp force to cut it loose and prevent further danger. And this one is talking about the same thing, right? Don't go straight to forceful approach. Go first, prioritize approach should be soft, inclusive, harmony, tolerance. So it's teaching about the same wisdom from 2 different extreme angles. So specifically looking at each line, the initial one, this is the only yin that's getting stronger and stronger over time. So it can be viewed as a threat. And from the yin itself's perspective, right, I have this agitative, impulsive kind of restlessness inside of me because I know I'm gonna get a chance to grow. So I have this itch to move, to progress, to get stronger without the patience of waiting. So in this case, this yin energy might kind of have chaotic evolvement without proper channel of guidance. So the kind stage is setting is a potential high risk of future chaos when it's not properly guided. So in that case, the young person need to create rules, ground, guiding principles to help prevent this yin from falling trap into its restlessness and creating danger and risk down the road. So if you land on this one as an answer, it means stay put, stay still, be patient, wait to be guided, is not ready for action yet. And if you rush to impulse and action, you will incur a lot of danger on yourself. And I really like how the line description says, it says, in the old times when people weave silk product, right? Silk is super soft, and if you don't have proper lines and grid on the silk product, it can go all over the place and entangle into a big ball of mass. So it's emphasizing the importance of laying that grid down so you can weave the soft silk within the grid and it becomes a beautiful product. So this one is emphasizing the importance of rules, the importance of proper guidance so it doesn't become a very strong chaotic energy. The second one is actually fairly positive because it embodies the teaching of the overall hexagram. It's about being inclusive, having a tolerance mindset to this potential threat coming your way. Because you can take this balanced approach, you can further prevent it spreading. So in a way, you're controlling it effectively, but you also have this benefit of avoiding head-on collision, which will create harm for yourself. So this is a really correct way to cope with this potential threat that's increasing in strength. So this one is positive, and it says you will enjoy and harvest the benefit from taking that tolerant and inclusive approach. The third line, not so much. This one, because it's at the end of this wind triagram, so it has this wishy-washy hesitation. Should I go? Should I stay? Type of hesitation, and because of it, you lose the right time and opportunity to control this potential threat. So in return, this stronger energy might give you hurdles, present challenges, maybe some backstabbing in a hidden way that harms you. And it also means because of this hesitation, you lose the right time opportunity to achieve your goal. So you might come to a failure, or your goal is not reachable. So it has a bad result because of it, the lost opportunity. However, with that said, this person will not encounter gigantic, disastrous failure. The reason is you're still a young line. You're not being totally trapped by this yin energy. You can still kind of function independently. It's just simply because you're too hesitant. You lose the right time to act. That's why you have a lot of missed opportunity, and you might not achieve your goal right away, but you're not going to incur major disaster either. The fourth one has also a kind of a negative result because in a way, the fourth and first line is supposed to have this natural bonding relationship, yin and yang. But in this particular hexagram, the second one, because close proximity, it already tolerate and included this yin energy. So it's supposedly natural partner lost opportunity because it's so far removed. So it has this implied meaning of you're too isolated, you're so separated from the situation, you didn't engage with your potential threat in an approachable way in close proximity. Because of that, you might encounter some unexpected risk and danger because you didn't truly embody the teaching of this hexagram, like get close, get inclusive, and tolerate this potential threat. This guy is just too far removed and separated. That's what's causing the danger. The fifth line is a good one again. Again, it's middle, it's on the top. It has this very big heart, right? Even though you might be a threat to me, I still treat you with kindness. Kind of kill you with my kindness type of implication. So the line description says, a melon could be a soft object, right? It will rely on some vine and thrive under the tree, and the tree is the yang energy and the melon is the yin energy. This tree, sure, the melon might be stealing nutrients or relying on me too much, but I have this big love of hugging you, protecting you, giving you my protection, even though you might steal some interest from me. I don't care. I want to give you as much as I can to just do my best to protect you and treat you with kindness. And because of that big love, that tolerance, that middle way, you actually melt this yin energy and make it, it's such a moving gesture. So in turn, this yin energy will not harm you anyway because it's benefiting from your protection. So it's actually also giving you feedback, right? Giving you, because eventually over time, this melon will rot. That's just how nature works. When it rot, it becomes nutrient in the earth and feedback to this tree. So it has this really touching, big love, emotional mindset. Because you can take the higher ground and do that, this yin energy will in turn naturally dissolve on its own, so it will not be a threat and you actually in turn benefit from it. So this is a very smart approach to deal with the situation. Last but not least, the ending line. This one is so far removed and at the extreme stage, so you know it's not stable. When anything reaches extreme in the law of the universe, it will morph into a new stage. So it's meaning that in this encountering, this person is in an unbalanced position. So it's not acting smart like either the second line or the fifth line with this tolerance and inclusive attitude. Because of that, you might encounter some unpleasant experience with this yin energy. Maybe this person will spread some rumors about you and giving you some sort of a headache or unpleasant feeling. But with that said, ignore it, let it run its own course, because time will tell. The yin energy, once it's reaching the extreme stage, it won't stay there forever. It's just gonna turn into that new cycle again. So just let it run its course, and eventually this problem will dissolve by itself. So it has that type of implied meaning behind it. But with that said, again, during the process, you will have some unpleasant exchange because you're so arrogant. You're the guy on top. You're not super tolerant or exercising big love like the fifth line. So that's the teaching of the 44th hexagram. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.